In this video, I'm going to show a difference between multiplication and exponents. They are very similar, which is why several students, when first learning about exponents, often confuse exponents for multiplication. So I want to give you an example so you can delineate between the two. So to start out, my first thought was thinking about rabbits and giving birth. You can think about puppies or cats or any animal that's giving birth to multiple babies at a time. So a fact is that rabbits can give birth anywhere to 1 to 14 rabbits in one litter. For our purposes today, for this example, we're going to assume that each rabbit has 3 babies in one litter. So that's at a time. So if we have one mom rabbit, that mom rabbit gives birth to 3 babies. If there are 2 rabbits, they are giving birth to 3 babies apiece, so they have 3. 6 total. We have 3 rabbits, they're giving birth to 3 babies apiece, there's 9. We have 4 rabbits, they each are giving birth to 3, so we have a total of 12 new baby rabbits. Then if there are 5 rabbits, we're giving birth to 15. Now a way to show that is with multiplication. We have 1 rabbit who gives birth to 3, and that gives us a product of 3. We have 2 rabbits who are each giving birth to 3, and that gives us a product of 6. 3 rabbits each giving birth to 3 gives us a product of 9. And 4 rabbits are each giving birth to 3. That's a product of 12. And lastly, if we have 5 rabbits who are giving birth, they're each giving birth to 3, we have 15. So to expand this further and to connect that multiplication to addition, because multiplication is repeated addition, this is how we would show that expression. So here we have 1 rabbit who gives birth to 3, we would just have 3. Now we saw with multiplication, we have 1 times 3. But with addition, we would just have 3 because we're not adding anything to it. Or I guess we could do 0 plus 3. That doesn't really follow the pattern. So if we have 2 rabbits, they have a total of 6, so that's 3 plus 3. So we're using that same add-in twice, which would give us 2 times 3. We have 3 rabbits who then give birth to a total of 9 babies, which would be 3 plus 3 plus 3. So here is where you're getting to see the repeated addition. Now the repeated addition has to be with the same number or the same add-in. I can't have 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's not considered repeated addition. If I have 4 rabbits giving birth, they give birth to a total of 12. So that's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And then 5 rabbits, they are giving birth to a total of 15. And I have 3 plus 3 plus 3. Plus 3 plus 3. So this would be 3 times 5. This would be 3 times 4. This would be 3 times 3. And this would be 3 plus 3. Now go ahead in your notes and write the definition of multiplication. Write down this example. And then write down, I want you to write down another example in the real world where you can think of repeated addition being used. So go ahead and pause now and then come back. So you now have just written your notes about repeated multiplication. About repeated addition. Now we're going to look, I want to show you another example about rabbits. Now this is looking at 1 rabbit family and its generations. So we start with let's say 1 rabbit. And that rabbit gives birth to 3 rabbits. Now each of those rabbits gives birth to another, which is here. So we start with, since our starting year is year 0, we have 1 rabbit. That's what we have. So the next year, rabbits do give birth more frequently, but we're just going to say the next year. The rabbits are giving birth for our example, only to simplify our example. So next year, we have 1 rabbit. So that 1 rabbit then gives birth to 3 rabbits. The next year, so this would be considered the second year, that next generation, each of those 3 rabbits gives birth to 3 rabbits. So now, for that new generation of new rabbits, we have 9 rabbits. And then each of those 9 rabbits, the next year, gives birth to 3 rabbits. So now the new set of rabbits would be 27 for that generation. That's not the total number of rabbits, that's just the brand new baby rabbits of that generation. Now to write an example or to write an expression that matches that would be something like this if we're using multiplication. So we have this one kind of year 0 that we start with 1 rabbit. And that next year, that 1 rabbit has 3 new rabbits. That next year, each of those 3 rabbits has 3 rabbits. So we're here. And then that last year, that 3rd year, those rabbits, these 9 rabbits, each give birth to 3 rabbits. So this is showing repeated multiplication. So we got to a much bigger number quicker than we did with our repeated addition. Here we ended after 5 rounds at 15, whereas here, after only 3 or 4 rounds, we're at 27. So this would be considered exponential growth. So I want you to think in your head about, is there an example in real life that you can write in your notes after you write down this table that shows repeated multiplication, that illustrates that? So go ahead and pause the video now and write down that example. Okay, so again, we have our repeated multiplication, which is what exponents are showing. It's the shortcut way to do repeated multiplication. So this is just expanding our previous table out. So if we're showing with repeated multiplication, we know that every year a rabbit's giving birth to 3. So in that first year, the birth year of that rabbit, that rabbit doesn't give birth. So there's still just the 1 rabbit left. So that's represented by a 3 to the 0 exponent. So this whole thing is a power with the base, the 3 is the base, and the 0 is the exponent. So the next year, that rabbit gives birth to 3 rabbits. So it's 3, I can write that expression as 3 to the first power, first exponent. That next year, those 3 rabbits each give birth to 3 rabbits. So there are 9 total new rabbits. So that exponent is that repeated multiplication. 3 times 3 is written as 3 squared. And then that last time, there are 9 rabbits giving birth, and they each give birth to 3. So again, that repeated multiplication can be written 3 with an exponent of 3. So that is a way to illustrate the difference between repeated addition, which is multiplication, and repeated multiplication, which is using exponents. I hope you have a clear understanding of that now. Now look at the problem sets on the board and start your practice.